Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Polish Tier 7 Tech Tree Heavy Tank, the 45TP. Now the 45TP is a little Tier 7 heavy tank that I do like. I've always liked it since I ground it out a couple of years ago when they first came out. And it's a pretty decent heavy tank because, well, at Tier 7 anyway, because you can side scrape with it pretty effectively. You can go hull down with it really quite easily as well, because the turret armor is, don't rely on the turret armor for the love of cheese. Don't rely on the turret armor because it will get penned. But if you're hull down and using your gun depression, you can ricochet shots here and there. You do have 8 degrees of gun depression, which means you can use ridge lines really effectively. And because it's got angles, you know, it may get penned a lot, but for the most part, you can actually ricochet shots off the turret. But only realistically if you are hull down. If you are not, and you're out in the open, your hull armor / your turret armor isn't the greatest in the universe, and it's something to bear in mind that you don't have the best armor for a heavy tank. Your real strength is the fact that you can side scrape, and you've got a pretty damn nice gun that you have here, if a little bit derpy at range. Because, yeah, the gun on this tank has 192 penetration on the standard AP, with 225 on the APCR, which is enough to go through most things you're going to face against at Tier 7. It struggles a little bit against the Tier 9s, because there's quite a few tanks at Tier 9 that 225 is even a struggle against. So, it is a bit of a problem in that regard, but the 300 alpha that you have, or the 320 alpha I should say, that you have on this tank is very, very nice for Tier 7. It's just like the T29 in that way, that having that slightly higher alpha for the tier is definitely an asset for the tank. Add to that your reload is pretty decently quick with this setup that we've got at 7.9 seconds. It's a pretty damn consistent tank in pointing out the damage, and yeah, I definitely just enjoyed grinding through this tank. It wasn't the best grind in the universe, but it also wasn't the worst. You know, you could have fun with it, and you just had to know your limits with the tank. I mean, it does go at 35 kilometers an hour as well, which is fairly standard heavy tank operating mobility, so you can't get anywhere too quickly either. You can't play it more like a medium tank in the regards of flanking and spanking, essentially. So in terms of crew, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-road driving to be able to help the ground resistances on this tank to be able to actually hit the top speed of the 45 TP, because, you know, we do have a 35 kilometer an hour top speed and we do hit it, but ground resistances can hold it back a little bit, so I just try to negate those with off-road driving. The 3 gun perks, because, you know, your base accuracy is something like 0.4, so you do want to help it out as much as possible. I mean, even with this setup that we've got here, your accuracy during rotation is 1.17, your accuracy during movement is 2.32, which is really not very good, so you want to help this gun out as much as you can. And then in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, the vents, and optics. Vents and optics to be able to make the view range and everything about the tank as good as possible, and the advanced loader to make my DPM 10% better, which is always something you want to be doing. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things you could do with the crew. Obviously, you could drop vents and run traction system instead and go at 38 kilometers an hour. But to be 100% honest with you, I just tried to make it so that the view range is as good as I can get it, and then have the ability to maximize my DPM as well. And also with the vents, you're helping out the accuracy and all the other little bits and bobs in the tank too. So you can see in this first game so far, we're up to 2k damage, or 2.2k assistance. We've managed to push up quite aggressively to this ridge line here at D9. We managed to thankfully not get penned by that Churchill AVRE, although he did splash us for a decent amount. And we're just farming up this equalizer now in this bottom tier. Well, no, it's not bottom tier, against tier 8s anyway. In this tier 8 matchup. We're up to 2.7k damage. It's like, please, let's get rid of this guy before he turns around and blaps us. We do. We get the shot in to shut down the equalizer. Now we've got shots into the town towards the KV4, which, with my standard pen, I'm not going to go through, so we switch to the premium rounds, although we've only got 1 round of standard left anyway. So we load to the premium round, we're going for the APCR pen into his lower plate, and I decide, you know what, even at this range of 225 pen, I'm probably not going to go through the lower plate of the KV4, so you know what, instead, we're going to farm assist. So we track him in place, we have so many people looking at this KV4 that it's like, well, I'm just going to get a lot of tracking assist, I'm just pushing out that. He's not taking any more hits, but he's giving us the broadside of his turret, so he slapped the shot straight through the side of his turret, and he gets finished off by everybody else. There's only 1 tank left in the enemy team. He is in the town right near basically all of my team, which means the chances of me getting anywhere near that is extremely unlikely. And we are going to finish this game with 3.3k damage and 3.5k assist, which, you know, for a tier 7 heavy tank, well, what's that, 6... Quick maths is hard, bro. 6.8k combined. That's a pretty damn nice game. Quick maths. And we'll finish the game with 3 kills, 3.3k damage, 3.5k assist. The ace tanker, the 2.1k base XP. Really nice game there for being against tier 8s. I mean, technically we were bottom tier. It was only +1. But we technically were bottom tier because there's no tier 6s. But yeah, a really nice game there for the 45 TP in not that great of a matchup on Highway. I mean, it showed that you can still be quite effective as a tier 7 even in a tier 8 matchup, because we just used our ability to get hull down, our ability to spot out. I mean, with this setup that we've got on this tank, we've got a 458 meter view range, which is good enough to get some good assistance out, which is what you've seen. And then we could put the hurt into the enemy team with this pretty nice 100mm gun. Is it a 100mm gun, or it might be a 105? I think it's a 105mm gun. And yeah, you'll have a decent amount of fun with this tank. So we're on to the second replay, and the second replay we're on Ghost Town, and again, the matchup is not very favourable. We're against tier 8 tanks yet again. There's actually more tier 8s than tier 7s, I think it was, in this matchup. And we're going to push to the position at E7 on Ghost Town so that I can actually go hull down and look straight across the middle of this town area, because that way obviously I can get maybe a cheap shot here and there, and I can pull back to safety to get away from the enemy team if they try and shoot me. We get spotted straight away. It's like, what's this? Oh, it's an Indian Panzer. I was thinking about going after him, but actually a TVP VTU gets spotted. He bounces off my turret. I snap the shot straight through the TVP VTU, which we're never going to have any problem penning because the TVP VTU is pure paper. Waiting for him to possibly poke out again, because you never know, he might do. But actually CS53 poking around the corner, so we go for a shot through his side. We track him in place, and I think we get lucky there. I think we ricochet. No, I think the TVP just missed us, because the TVP took the opportunity when we actually poked up to try and get a shot at us, but I think his shot either hit destructible cover or something like that. So we're just watching the corner to make sure that we can get some shots at his TVP. If he pokes, I'm expecting that possibly he might just poke again, which, give me the free damage, bro. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, he's not doing it. The CS53 is staying there, so we're going to move up to the corner to help Seb out over here. And, oh, the poor light tank that just got KV3'd. So we can now use this poor light tank as a perfect positioned wreck, because now we're obscuring the view of the enemy team towards me, and we're making it as difficult as possible for them to actually get the shots in. But sadly, that's a T28 prototype, which I am going to struggle to pen, and he's not going to struggle to pen me. You've just seen that. He went straight through the turret front for the lols, and yeah, sad times. We get a nice shot into the side of the Indian Panzer there, who is perfectly sideways on for us to get a shot into. I don't know how he's not died yet. There we go, he's gone to artillery. And I'm thinking about poking this corner again, but it's kind of deadly because there's going to be 3 guns staring at us, and I'm not a keen fan of that. But actually, they've all moved up and moved on. So the KV3's up on top of the ridgeline now. So we go for the shot straight through the lower plate of the KV3. We've got to be careful of that medium tank at E6 because there's a potential he could try and get a shot in behind us. Just looking for a shot into the T28 Prot again, but nope, not seeing that shot. Here we've realised that that CS52 lease is behind, so we're just watching that corner, get with the free aim shot straight through the side of him. Seb shoots him as well. That puts him down to a 1-shot. And Stifler's mom has got it going on. He's out of here. And we get rid of the CS52 Liss. We're up to 1,880 damage, 454 assistance. We got lucky there that we bounced that shot from that Liss. And we're just going to take the chance and cross the open in front of that T28 Pro. I just decided I was taking the chance. And thankfully, he didn't get a shot into us. We're now up behind the Tiger 1 and the other heavy tank. We slap the shot into the back end of the Tiger 1 because we can damage the engine if you shoot the back end of a Tiger 1. And there's a possibility, you never know, you might set it on fire. I could shoot the Goranich, but I'm not going to poke the beast, because at the minute, this Goranich has 0 clue I'm here. So I'm not going to poke the beast. I'm going to get rid of the gun that knows I'm here. So we get rid of that Tiger 1. This Goranich is so focused on that light tank in front that he just hasn't realised that I was killing his friend. We fire the APCR straight through the back of his turret because we can damage the ammo rack that way, and that is exactly what's happened. Because we've got the premium rounds in, because that's really the only way we're going to truly go through a Goronich. We get the shot straight through his side, because even with 198 pen on the side of a Goronich, there's a chance that that'll bounce. Obviously, we could go for the droid, but even the droid's slightly more armoured these days. We get the shot in the back end of the Goronich, which lights it on fire. Unfortunately, he uses a fire extinguisher. He is a very damaged KV-5, and we shut him down. There's one tank left in front of us. It's the Lycan. I'm thinking, oh, please don't have any more left, because that'll be bad to me. I'm basically pushing straight into him as much as I can to make it so that it was difficult for him to be able to actually get a shot into us, or it's more likely that he was going to bounce his APCR round anyway, which he did with one of them. And fortunately for me, Seb shuts down that Lycan before he get any more shots into me, and the Crusader SP gets shut down by the GBW Panther. And we finished the game with a really nice total again for a pretty poor matchup for the 45 TP. 4k damage, 454 assistance, ace tank of the high caliber, the Confederate, the 1932 base XP, a really nice game there for the 45 TP, and that little bit at the end was definitely an example of, if someone knows you're there but somebody else doesn't, shoot the person that knows you're there, get rid of them, and then that way you don't have two people that go, oh, there's a tank, and start shooting at you. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!